Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. I'm Alpha Dean and this is a Raid Shadow Legends video. So today's video is going to be in regards to this new event, and the new event being the Adventure Deck of Fate. This Deck of Fate, ooh, it's a good one. So if you watched my video yesterday, you'll have seen I told you guys do not start that Fire Knight tournament, and the reason for that is because of this Deck of Fate. So, Deck of Fate, your objectives: get artifacts and accessories, summon souls from Soulstones. So you get artifacts and accessories. That's why I said do not start your Fire Knight yesterday. Alright, if you're starting it today, you're double dipping in this as well. And if you can compete in this Deck of Fate, you should be doing it. It is a darn good one. In my opinion, it's the best one that they've ever done. This Deck of Fate has got huge potential to advance your account. And the reason that I say that is because of the accessories. So these accessories that you can get from here, absolutely phenomenal. So not only are they all 6-star, which is amazing in itself, you know, the chances of you picking up 6-star stuff in this game is absolutely disgusting. They need to do something in regards to this, I think, especially in certain aspects of the game. So the fact that these are all guaranteed to be 6-star is absolutely beautiful. I think even if that these would have been some of them as 5-star, I think players should have still been going for this anyway. So the reason that these are so strong is because the only area of the game that you can pick these up at the minute, bar this, is Platinum Arena. And that's for the top 500 people. So you think of the amount of people that actually play this game. And then only 500 people have access to these per week, and it's just through doing Platinum Arena. So the chances are your low spenders or your free-to-play players, they're not going to be up there. In certain circumstances, they will be. They've been playing for long periods of times and they've just got super good gear, you know, had really good RNG luck, then, you know, they could be up there as well. But as soon as they've got these, let's take a look actually at it. So the one really that I want is this Swift Parry. So the reason that I want this is obvious as soon as you check out this 9-piece bonus. So 9-piece bonus, you're ignoring 50% of the defense. That's absolutely huge. So if you think of your other damage dealing sets, you've got stuff such as your Savage gear. So you've got your Savage gear. Let's take a quick look at some of that. So Savage gear here, let's have a look what we've got on it. Ignore 25% of the enemy's defense. And that's the same thing with your lethal. So if we go to your lethal, you click on this, ignores 25% of your defense. And then you've got your crit damage on there as well. But it's doubling the damage of this. You've seen how much damage that you can do with one of these sets on. So with a set on such as your lethal or your Savage, you're doing a hell of a lot more damage than you are if you just put in say attack gear or crit rate, whatever it be, even your crit damage. You're doing a hell of a lot more damage. Even if you was to put on something like your Merciless, so if you put on Merciless in comparison to your Savage, you've seen how much of an impact that can actually make on it. So just imagine that then being 50%. That is absolutely huge. And for me, I didn't like the fact that the only way to get it was Platinum Arena, because myself, I am free to play, and even low spenders and whatnot, like I said, you have to be extremely lucky with the RNG and your gear and be playing for a hell of a long time before you can even compete at that level. And then there's the whole time aspect of it as well. So you've got to put in a lot of time, you know, just grinding out that Platinum Arena. So not ideal, the fact that it's up there, and for me it expanded that gap between free to play, low spend, and then these pay to win players. So if you think you're going to need RNG on your side anyway to beat those type of players, right? And then not only that, you're going to be using Savage in a lot of instances. If they've got this on, if they've got Swift Parry and they're ignoring 50% of your defense, you ain't got a chance, have you? Let's be honest, you've not got a chance. If you've only just started getting into your Stone Skin and your Savage builds, such as myself, so I've only recently started getting into that because I am fairly new returning to the game. So Stone Skin, it wasn't really a thing back when I was playing initially. So I've only recently started putting myself into those kind of gear setups, and now Mercurial's a thing, so I'm trying to adapt to that as well. But if they've got this, then it's just going to be so much more difficult to do, and realistically you're just not going to be able to do it. It's going to be the same people up there as soon as they've got these 9-piece sets. So that's why I didn't like it. Now they have introduced this as an option for free-to-play players such as myself or low spenders to get this. So you better believe that I'm going for this. So this in itself hugely impactful for your account. And even if you pick up, say, not very good pieces, so if you pick up not very good pieces, so worst case scenario, I'd say probably an attack amulet is probably your worst one. I'm keeping that anyway, because the main goal for me is going to be to pick up the 9 piece. Doesn't matter what stats are actually on these, so long as I can get the 9 piece. This ignore 50% of the defense is going to be huge. It's going to be much more impactful than any of the stats that are actually on the gear. So hopefully if they introduce these more often, which in my opinion they really need to do, then you know, this is something that I can improve on at a later date. Hopefully I do pick up more Swift Parry than I do Deflection, but the chances of me getting some of these that are going to land on the same faction as well are very low. So just bear that in mind. These aren't going to be super impactful for your account straight away. Over time they will be, because the chances of you hitting a ring, an amulet and a banner, you know, on the same faction, or let's face it, really low. And then the fact that you've then got to, you know, get the RNG of getting it into your Swift Parry as well. So yeah, just bear that in mind. It's not going to be impactful straight away, but the fact that these we do now have access for, you do want to be picking them up in my opinion. So the other thing then, in regards to this, is going to be we have got your boosted summons. So we have got your boosted summons on this right now. So your Mortal Soulstones, these are the most accessible for people to get. Therefore, I think that this is brilliant that they've done it like this. It's the most accessible one that we've got as hands on. We may not have, you know, a lot of these Immortals or Eternals being free to play or low spend as what we do these Mortals. So in my opinion, they've done a good job of introducing this, and not only that, they put it on as the best one. So they have done a 4-star alongside your 5 and your 6. A lot of time they just do this at 5 and 6 star. So double your chances then. What that means is for your 4 stars, you've got an 8% chance. For your 5 stars, 3%. For your 6 stars, 1.5%. Are these massive percentages? No. But they are the best that they're ever going to be. This is the best time to be pulling these. And in yesterday's video, I said the only time really that I wouldn't participate in this is if I was holding these for a guaranteed champion. However, for a guaranteed champion, these are only going to be worth 70 points. So if we do take a look then back at these points, so the points that we're getting for these at the minute, I did state yesterday that I think it's going to be 90, and it is indeed 90. This didn't have to be 90. Do you know, because this is the first time that they've actually done this. They could have dropped this to 80 or even 70, same as the guaranteed champion one. I don't think that it would have been much appreciated by the community, but they could have done that. So this, I think, is really good that they have kept this at 90, and it just means that a lot of people are going to be able to flip a lot more of these cards. So if you have been saving like myself, I did state to you guys on the last summoning one, do not do it. I just didn't see the value in it. I didn't think that it was going to be that much value, so I held on to mine, and therefore I have got a good amount of these. So I've got 200 here, and I've got another 128 up here, so I've got 328. This still isn't going to be enough for me to complete the entirety of this Adventure Deck of Fate. So to get the entirety of this Deck of Fate done then, we're going to need 1,000 points for each one of these cards. Right? There's 40 cards in a deck, that's what there always is. So we're going to need 40,000 points. Now I've just stated they are worth 90, these Mortals. So 40,000 divided by 90, it gives you 444.4. So that is a hell of a lot of those Mortals. So as I've just said, I can't get that done with the Mortals that I've got. However, we have got that artifact and accessory element in regards to this as well. So going back to this, it does say here, get artifacts and accessories. This is what I've got in regards to that. So I have been doing a little bit of Fire Night today. This is what I've got from doing that. And I am going to continue to do that today. So everybody, if you are going for the Master Hero, then that's what you're going to be doing as well. So you will be participating in that Fire Night. However, if we do bring up that calendar, so if we bring up this calendar for Master Hero, you'll see over these next couple of days, we haven't really got anything else going on. So all that's going on is this Deck of Fate and then the Fire Night. So Monday, we've got Fire Night. Tuesday, Fire Night Gear Enhancement. Wednesday, Fire Night Gear Enhancement. Thursday, we've got Ice Golem that's starting. So over those days, that's the time frame that we've got for this boosted summons. You can blast out any of these dungeons that you want to do. As soon as you've done with your finite, if you are going for the Master Hero, if you're not going for him, blast out any dungeon and just get points for this adventure decafe. I'd highly recommend that you do that. Try and get as much of it done as what you can. I'll probably move from Fire Knight into Spider, because Spider's the fastest one to do. And I just want to try and get it done. I don't want to be at the computer or at my phone 24/7, but I am going to try and get it done. Now, I've got a lot of these Mortal Soulstones as well, so I'm not going to have to participate in these dungeons as much as a lot of players are. I do think that you should be going for it. I really, really do. I can't stress that enough. If you have got, you know, the resources to do it, then do it. It is going to be super, super impactful for your account. Probably not straight away, like I've said, but over time it definitely will be. It is worth doing. In regards to going back to what we're saying about the only time that I wouldn't do it is probably in regards to if you were saving for a guaranteed champion. I take that back. Right? I said that the only time really that I'd not pull is probably if I was saving for a guaranteed champion. I'd still pull here. For what is on offer, the chances of improving your account, you know, if you're going for a guaranteed champion, you're not going to have any of these chances of your 4-star, your 5-star, your 6-star. It's just going to be an odd chance, you know, you pull it and it's just basic chances. Pull them now. You know, you've got your chance of getting a really good soul, and even if it's for a soul for a champion that you don't want, right? So if you pull a soul for a champion that you don't use, you've got no intention of building, you can then sell them. So if you go into your soul collection, you've got a champion that you don't want, so if you've got soul, let's just pick a 4-star, because that's like the lowest of these boosted rates. So you pick a 4-star, you're picking up these coins for the big ones. So you're selling those then, and you're getting more resources. Oh Christ, I nearly bought that then. So you're getting your resources for these big souls. So each time then when you're picking up a soul, somebody that you don't want, you're getting resources to improve the soul stones that you've got on your account. And these are much more impactful for your guaranteed champions. A lot more. So they're 10 times the value. Well, that's what it tends to be. 10 times the value of these small ones. Not only that, you pull 10 of these, you're getting 200 of these guaranteed. So you are improving your account, I think, by just pulling these now. You're not going to pull the quality of soul that you're going to pull in this event in a guaranteed champion one. So yeah, I do take that back. I'd still pull these in regards to that. And that's basically it for the video, guys. I just wanted to stress, do not skip. Do not skip out on this decafe. In my opinion, it's a must-do, right? If you can't complete the entirety of it, I completely understand that, but do try and push and pick up at least a few of these. And if you have got your Mortal Soulstones, smash them out. You know, blast them out today. It is the best time to be doing it. Even if you was saving for a guaranteed champion like I've just stated, it's probably better to pull it now. You've got your option to sell your souls, and it's the best chance of getting an impactful one for your account. So that is going to be it for the video then, guys. I hope that you've enjoyed it. I hope that it's been useful. If it has, don't forget, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you all in the next one.